I spent a night in the haunted Monte Cristo Homestead, Australia. I've always been fascinated by truly haunted places. Not the ones you see in movies, but the ones with real deaths, real witnesses, and real unexplained events. When I first heard about Monte Cristo Homestead, known as the most haunted house in Australia, I knew I had to see it for myself. Located in Junee, New South Wales, this old mansion has a dark reputation. Deaths, tragic accidents, and countless unexplained phenomena. I arrived there in late September. The day was cloudy and a strong wind was blowing. Even from a distance, the house seemed to be watching me. Its cracked white walls and tall windows gave it a ghostly look. The air felt heavy. Every step I took on the gravel path sounded louder than it should, and even the birds seemed to have gone silent. At the front door, I met Olive, the caretaker. She was an elderly woman, but her eyes were sharp. She said her family had lived in the house for decades and had seen things most people wouldn't believe. She smiled and said, "You'll feel it yourself tonight." That smile brought me no comfort. Inside, the air smelled of old wood, dust, and candle wax. Portraits of the Crawley family, the original owners, hung on the walls. Their eyes seemed to follow me. I set up my recording equipment and camera, not knowing what awaited me. Night fell. The shadows seemed to move like living things. The first sound I heard was footsteps upstairs, slow and deliberate. It should have been empty up there. I grabbed my camera and quietly climbed the stairs. The floor creaked under my feet. The candle on the wall flickered, then went out. The hallway was plunged into darkness. Through the static on my recorder, I heard whispers. "Leave. Right now." Doors opened and shut on their own. The eyes in the portraits seemed angry, pleading even. I tried to convince myself it was all in my imagination. But the feeling of being watched was unbearable. By midnight, things escalated. The shadows moved like living creatures. Something brushed past my arm, but no one was there. Suddenly, a piano began to play. The notes came from a locked room that had no piano in it when I arrived. The melody was soft, sorrowful. I ran to the kitchen, but the lights wouldn't turn on. A faint, mournful moan echoed through the house. The tragic memories of the Crawley family seemed to come alive again. Thomas Crawley, his mother, and the missing maid, their spirits still trapped within the house. I was no longer safe. Around 2 a.m., I heard a loud crash. Something heavy had fallen. The door to the main room creaked open on its own. Inside, the rocking chair was moving gently, though no one was sitting in it. A mirror reflected the image of someone standing behind me. I turned around, but there was nothing. The reflection remained. Whispers, "You shouldn't be here." I ran down the stairs and out into the cold night air. My heart was pounding in my chest, and I didn't stop until I reached my car. With the sunrise, Monte Cristo looked ordinary again, just an old house. Silence, walls, cracked paint. But what I'd experienced was real. Visitors and caretakers have reported the same things: shadows, moving objects, whispers, and sudden chills. The Monte Cristo Homestead isn't just haunted. Its past has never truly left. Even weeks later, I sometimes hear the piano in my dreams. And I wonder what would have happened if I'd stayed one more hour.